You personally had to announce that Joe had died. That must have been unbelievably hard to do that.
It was. It's probably one of the most difficult things I've ever had to do.
She did say this. She said, we are far more united and have far more in common than that which divides us. So one of the things I think is going to be interesting is to see whether that spirit of Joe Cox actually kind of informs the tenor of the debate going forward. We only have 7 days left in this referendum campaign.
Obviously a national inquiry going on, but there are Leeds implications, not least Jimmy Savile working at the LTI. I think if I had your job and was in charge of children's services, those are the sort of things that would keep me awake at night, making sure that you've learnt the lessons from the past.
I think the thing that's come through in so many of the high-profile cases that we know about is that at critical times, key people haven't listened to them.
Rishi Sunak's latest measures have been welcomed by business leaders, but some are saying that even a cut in VAT, so far only hinted at by the Chancellor, may not be enough to save struggling bars and restaurants.
Are you in crisis? I mean, how do you run these hospitals with a £30 million deficit?
We're not in crisis, it's important to say that. And in terms of the deficit, that was an agreed deficit. So that wasn't as if it was unplanned and it was a crisis of profligacy, far from it.
So surely you're at the bone that you can't take that money out anymore without things like IT systems falling down.
You're absolutely right, we need investment.
Do you feel, though, that the Muslim communities in Leeds are doing enough to try and understand why some young people might be getting caught up with some of the messages that they might be hearing from ISIS and turning to radicalisation?
One thing is for sure, that we need to be, as a community, we need to be more inclusive. We cannot exclude people. Muslims are not from Mars.
The headlines for the city tonight. Zero tolerance, the message from West Yorkshire Fire and Rescue Service, who say attacks on staff are on the rise. Good morning. Students and staff from the University of York have been paying tribute to a 20-year-old whose body was found in the River Foss. A private vigil has taken place in memory of Ethan Peters.
But again, that was in 2015 and we're not really seeing anything yet.
Well, if you think of GUC, Kirkstall Forge is GUC.
There's been lots of people complaining this week the trains don't stop there enough, haven't they?
Well, okay, one kind of bit at a time. That was a development that should have happened kind of 10 years ago.
We're in an unmarked police car. It's full of gizmos and gadgets. What exactly are you out doing tonight?
Tonight we've been tasked with Operation Viper, which is the Force's initiative to tackle burglars.
Well, I mean, it's obviously good news that anyone that doesn't have a bike can go and get one.
How can you even have a bike?
Well, to temper the enthusiasm a bit, and we found that it's not actually lack of access to a bike that stops people cycling. Most people have a bike.
True, actually, I've got a bike in the garage and I've had it out all year.
But what stops you going from out on the roads and going cycling to work? It's that sense of danger.